Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be comparing the Ariel Rider X-Class 52 volt to the most comparable Super 73 model, the RX. A lot of people have been asking me for these comparisons, so here we go. Before we get into it, please subscribe to my channel if you like my content, hit that thumbs up button, and also ring that notification bell for future notifications of my videos. I could also save you $50 on any Ariel Rider e-bike on their website by using code EasyHeimer or clicking the link in the description below. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so we'll start with the price. So as of this video, the X-Class 52 volt is going for $2,100 on Ariel Rider's website. Now the Super 73 RX is going for $3,500 on Super 73's website. So keep that in mind throughout the whole video. The price point is very different on these two bikes. So we have a 52 volt system on the X-Class and we have a 48 volt system on the Super 73 RX. The 52 volt system has a benefit of more torque and more power while also being more efficient with the battery. So you get longer range while also getting more power and torque. The styling of these bikes, so you have more of a moped style with the X-Class, whereas the Super 73 RX has more of a dirt bike, motocross look to it. I got both bikes in red, so you have like a fire truck red with the X-Class, which is very sharp, very bright. Did a really good job with that color. It just stands out. The Super 73 RX is carmine red, which is a lot darker. Both very good looking bikes. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over some of the features of this bike, and in the end I'll let you know what I think is the better overall value of both bikes. So we'll start with the motors on these bikes. So the X-Class 52 volt comes with a 1000 watt 2000 watt peak nominal power motor, while the Super 73 RX comes with a 1200 watt 2000 watt peak nominal power motor. So you might be thinking, well, the Super 73 RX has higher wattage, so it must be more powerful. That couldn't be farther from the truth. The X-Class blows it away when it comes to torque, power, going up hills. There's been times where the Super 73 RX just couldn't make it up hills where I actually had to walk it up the hill. So the torque is almost non-existent on that bike. The torque on here is a different story. It's just absolutely insane with the torque that you get from this bike. The top speed on the X-Class 52 volt is 35 miles an hour. The top speed on the Super 73 RX is 31 miles an hour. All right, so we'll talk about the Ariel Rider motors that they use. They're best in the business, and they actually use metal gears instead of nylon gears, which most e-bikes have, like the Super 73 bikes. And the metal gears will give you more torque, more power, and they just won't break down. They'll last so much longer. You definitely don't hear problems with Ariel Rider motors. Now, as far as the Super 73 motors go, with the nylon gears, if you look up Super 73 motor issues, you will find an endless amount of complaints about their motors. You know, the V1, V2, even the V3 motors that I have on this one, you just see all sorts of problems that people have with the motor. So the nylon gears break, they strip, they just break down very quickly. Just not a good experience. And we'll talk about Super 73's customer service later. So if you have a problem with your motor, sometimes you're waiting up to 3-4 months or even 5 months to get your motor in. So we'll start with the back of the bike. This is not the seat that comes with the X-Class. The X-Class comes with a one-up seat, so it's a one-seater, very comfortable. This is the long saddle you can get on Ariel Rider's website for $89. I definitely recommend it if you're a bigger rider like me, or if you're looking to ride with someone on the back. Super comfortable seat. It does come with a one rider seat out of the box, which is also very comfortable. The Super 73 comes with a one-up seat. Same idea. I did not replace the seat yet, but they do have aftermarket seats that they make. As far as the comfortability goes, not as comfortable as the X-Class seats. It's just, I'm a big guy, so my butt sinks pretty far down in the seat so I can feel the metal after a long ride, and it's just not enjoyable as much as the X-Class is. So as far as long rides and stuff goes, I definitely recommend the X-Class. Now, as far as the seating position on each bikes, the X-Class is going to be more of a lean forward type position, whereas the Super 73 RX is going to be more of a straight up riding position. So both of these bikes feature dual suspension. So both have a rear adjustable suspension in the back. So you can see you can adjust with this knob here, and the Super 73 rear suspension is also fully adjustable with this knob in the back. So play with it as you'd like to get it to where it's comfortable for you. So you have the fenders here. You have a very long fender on the X-Class. It does a really good job of keeping the mud and dirt off of you and off of the bike. So as you can see, a nice long fender. The front fender as well. So the front isn't as long as the rear, so when you're putting this on, just keep that in mind. You want the lip in the back, but a nice long fender definitely keeps the mud and dirt off pretty well. The Super73 RX rear fender. So you have one up top here, and honestly, these are more for looks too. They don't do much. The rear fender on here is a little bit different, so it's close to the tire, which is nice, like the X-Class, but not as long, so the dirt is still gonna make its way up to you, so just keep that in mind. It's more for looks, to be honest, on the RX. So the braking system on the X-Class, hydraulic Tektro braking system, very nice stopping power. On the RX, same thing, hydraulic braking system. This actually has a 4-piston system on it, so nice stopping power on here as well. So both bikes have really good braking systems. All right, so the pedaling on these two bikes, definitely a totally different experience. The pedaling on the Super73 RX, you only have one gear. The crank arms are very, very short, so it's very uncomfortable to pedal this bike. So if you're looking to get a bike that you can pedal, full time or even most of the time, it is not comfortable at all on the Super73 bikes, especially being 6'2", 260 pounds. I feel like I'm pedaling a clown bike. You also have just one gear on the Super73 RX, so you can't switch it, you can't change it depending on your terrain, your hills, whatever. So you just get one gear, so what you see is what you get. They do offer a 10-speed kit for the Super73 RX for an additional $235, and then you have to pay to get it installed if you can't do it yourself, but they do have an option for that 10-speed. The X-Class is a much more enjoyable experience pedaling. The crank arms are much longer on this bike, so being 6'2", 260 pounds, it's very, very easy, very enjoyable to pedal this bike. And you also have a 7-speed Shimano system here. All right, so you can switch speeds depending on the hills that you're hitting. If you're on flat ground, you obviously want to be in a higher gear. Just a very, very nice experience pedaling this bike. So I wouldn't have any issues if I don't even have a battery on this bike to be able to pedal to get to where I need to go. All right, so as far as the battery goes on the Super73 RX, you have a 20 amp hour battery, which they say should get you a little over 70 miles per charge. I haven't even got anywhere close to that, and that's with the lowest pedal assist. I maybe got 45 miles on it. So just throttle alone, I usually get about 20 miles on a single charge. So just keep that in mind. Now the X-Class battery is an 18 amp hour battery, and I get about 25 miles on just throttle alone. And pedaling, the lowest pedal assist, I've gotten around about 70 miles, which is absolutely insane. With the 52 volt system as well, you're gonna get more power and more efficiency going longer distances. So keep that in mind as well. So it might be a smaller battery on this bike, but you will get longer range and more power out of the battery. All right, so the front of this bike, you have a dirt bike style, motocross style headlight, which is fairly bright. Getting nice fat tires in the front there. And then you have the moped style headlight in the front, very bright for the X-Class, as well as the puncture resistant tires on this bike as well. So very nice touch from Ariel Rider with the puncture resistant tires. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go over the fork system here, the suspension on the Super73 RX. Fully adjustable. You have these two knobs here to get it to where you like as far as being comfortable goes. Adjustable handlebars, so you can loosen these up and go back and forth to get it to the right height that you want it. You have a thumb throttle here, and you have your braking system, Tektro braking system. You have your LCD screen where you can go pedal assist up, pedal assist down. You also have your menu options through this button here. Very nice LCD screen, very small, very simple. You do have a horn on this bike as well, and the Shimano braking system here. The grips are really nice too on this bike. So the Ariel Rider X-Class 52 volt, the front forks, front suspension, fully adjustable as well. You can play with those to your liking and get it to where it feels comfortable for you. The handlebars are very adjustable, so you can actually loosen this bolt and angle it up or down for a more comfortable riding position. And these you can actually go back as well with too by loosening these bolts and pulling these handlebars back or forward depending on where you want it. These are fully up and back, but you can adjust these forward as you'd like depending on your riding position. The grips on this bike are absolutely insanely good quality. You get the full leather, the nice stitching here, Just a really nice look. You have the twist throttle on this bike instead of the thumb throttle, which I do like. Your braking system, your Shimano 7-speed shifter here on the handlebars. You have your LCD screen, you have your power button, your menu button, your pedal assist up, pedal assist down. You get a lot of information on that screen as well. There's your other grip. Super nice craftsmanship with the grips. Just a nice touch to this bike. You also have the 52 volt on the frame there. All right, so we took a look at both the Ariel Rider X-Class 52 volt and the Super 73 RX. All right, so let's talk about the quality on these bikes. So out of the box, I've already had to call, email, chat with Super 73 3 or 4 times for quality issues concerning this bike right out of the box. And let me tell you, Super 73 customer support is horrendous. It's super hard to get a hold of them, and when you do, it takes them a couple weeks to get back to you. So just keep that in mind. When you buy into the Super 73 brand, you're also buying into their customer service, which is absolutely horrendous. The Ariel Rider, on the other hand, their customer service is best in class. Let me tell you, every single experience I've had with their customer service has been stellar. They get back to me right away within hours and super pleasurable, and they just want to get your bike fixed and get you back on the road and riding. So just keep that in mind. When you buy into these bikes, you're buying into their customer support. 2 different styles of customer support. One being very horrible and one being an absolute pleasure. So as far as what I think is the best value for your money, so having the problems that I did with the RX and having no problems with the X-Class so far, and the price point difference, $2,100 for the X-Class 52 volt and $3,500 for the Super 73 RX, you kind of wonder what you're paying for, because you get more features basically on the X-Class with the 7-speed. It just makes it a more enjoyable experience pedaling, and you're talking about a $1,400 difference in price, which can buy basically another e-bike. So as far as the overall value goes, I'd have to hand it to the Ariel Rider X-Class 52 volt. This thing for the money is the best you can get. I'm telling you, the quality of the bike, the torque, the power is just insane. I'm telling you, you will not have issues with this bike. And for the money, you cannot beat it. So if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But until next time, thank you for watching. Peace out.